What's good, YouTube? It's your girl E Smith. I'm back with another video. Check it. If you are a returning viewer or subscriber, welcome back. And if you're new to the channel, welcome to MellowTalk. This is a safe space I created for us to come and discuss various viewpoints, opinions, and perspectives regarding true crime stories as well as trending topics. Now, I want to thank you for being here, because fact of the matter is, you could be anywhere in the world, but you right here chopping it up with me, and I'm digging it. So go ahead, take this time to like this video, give it a thumbs up. Alright, I need you guys to subscribe. Alright, I need my first 1K subscribers quickly. Let's grow this Mellow clan, man. I got about 15 subscribers right now. We got about 985 to go. So let's get it. We got work to do. Also, go ahead, hit the notification bell, turn that on so that way when I drop new content, you'll be the first to get it. Now, there's only one rule to this channel. As we discuss our different viewpoints and opinions, make sure we remain respectful of everybody here. I do not want my platform to be a platform that we come to spew hate to one another, as this is a no-hate zone, okay? Now, disclaimer. Everything that I put on this channel is research that I've done on my own by reading articles, just searching online, watching court proceedings, etc. This is for entertainment and educational purposes only, alright? Now, let's get into today's story. This is a crazy story, guys, and I'm pretty sure you guys may have heard of it. But just in case you haven't, I do want to go ahead and give you a trigger warning. This does have to do with drugs, murder, violence, harm to children, things like that. So if any of those types of things trigger you in a negative way, you might want to sit this one out. And I'm pretty sure my next video will be one that you can enjoy to the fullest. Now, let's get to it. So today, I'm going to be talking about the story of Shavon Randle in Dallas, Texas. Now, there was an Amber Alert that went out in June of 2017, I believe. And it just shook Dallas once the details started to come out. It actually shook everybody in the whole world because it was such a tragic story. So, I'm going to go ahead and get into it. Now, there was a group of guys, a crew that ran together, right? Now, you got a guy named Darius Fields and Devontae Owens. These guys are like right-hand guys, you feel me? Darius is like the top dog, and his right-hand man is Devontae Owens, alright? These are the big-time drug dealers right here, alright? Then you got these guys who are named the muscle of the crew, right? They the hitters. They gonna handle any problem that needs to be handled. And that is a guy named Laquan Wilkerson, as well as Michael Titus, okay? Then you got a guy named Desmond Jones. Desmond Jones was the best friend of Mike T. And Mike T is bringing him into the mix, okay? He's about to be part of the crew now, too. Now, Mike Titus, he looked up to these guys. You know, he feared them. You know, Devontae Owens, Darius Fields, they was top dogs and they did not play. Mike Titus was scared of these guys, but nevertheless, they were his guys, you feel me? So they put him on with the drug game, and they get a big delivery of some green, you feel me? I'm talking about $250,000 worth of green delivered to a motel. Now, Mike T is the muscle. He's the security over the stash, because again, he the muscle, he's the hitter, he's the one that's gonna handle it. So nobody is gonna try him, because Mike T is gonna be there to handle whatever should come, you feel me? So now you see Mike T post this picture.
Come and get it, we gon' hit it, let's get lifted if you with it. I got goody sour cookies, keep the doobies, we can use them.
So I guess Mike T wanted to stunt a little bit. You know how the young guys get down, okay? I guess he wanted to stunt, so he's sitting on all these pounds. He posts this picture, you feel me? Now, Mike T, you looking like a whole lick right now. You know what I'm saying? You got all these pounds. You got $250,000 worth of green, and you taking a picture of it, and you showing everybody on social media that you got this, all right? That was a bad decision. You feel me? That was a bad decision. on your part. You feel me? But anyway, now LaPortia Polly is at the motel with the stash, as well as Mike T being there with the stash. Okay, now somebody Mike T knew by the name of Kendall Perkins hit him up, set up a time to come through and buy some of the product. Right now, when the dude get there to get the product, he brings company. And where is Mike T? He's not there. The only person that's there is the girl. Check this out.
Perkins' vehicle, and he's driving.
Okay. Now, additionally, we also see that there was a black car that kind of tailed in of the white Camaro. Were you able to ascertain any information of to that particular vehicle, or if that person was involved?
Yes, we were told that those were the two unknown individuals that robbed the hotel room with Kendall Perkins.
And so just so we're clear that...
So what you see here is Kendall Perkins and his brother pull up in a white Camaro. There's also another car that's tailing them, a black car of two unknown guys, okay? They pull up, Kendall Perkins goes in to buy the product, all right?
And we see a person that just left out running. Who is that person?
That is LaPortia Polly.
So now, as you can see, things are getting real quick, okay? LaPortia comes running out the room because obviously Kendall has run up in there. He got a gun. He's robbing the place. There's no Mike T. It's just her alone. Now I know that there are rules in the game that you don't leave a female alone with a stash like that. She was there with a lot of weight, so she had to get up out of there quick as possible.
From the place where LaPortia Polly ran, and they're carrying a whole bunch of stuff.
That is Kendall Perkins and Kentrell Perkins and the other two unidentified individuals removing pounds of marijuana from room 116 at that hotel.
So now you see them. Kendall Perkins is went in there. He done got both his hands full, loading the packs in the trunk. He got other guys running in there helping them. They get it loaded. They jet out. Okay. Now when LaPortia Polly now comes back into the frame because she's walking back towards the room. Now she never called the police. She went to the front of the hotel because they took her purse, they took her guns, they took her phone. She had nothing. So she had to go around to the front of the hotel room, or motel, and call Darius Fields. Now, they said it was like an hour before she actually called the police. And when she actually did call the police, she only reported her things missing. Only the guns, the purse, and the phone and stuff. She didn't tell about the big thing that got taken or what she was robbed for. So anyway, shortly after that, a car zooms up. It's Darius Fields. She goes over to talk to him. You could tell he's pissed. He's banging on the top of his car like, dang, my stuff got stolen. And she hops in the back seat and they skirt off. Now, as far as Mike T is concerned, we see it in movies all the time. This was somebody you knew. You set this up. So obviously now they're looking at this like Mike T set us up. You feel me? He looking real suspect to the game right now. And it's like now Mike T got to do something about it because Mike T done messed up. Alright? Now, what was crazy is I never got any details. I could never find any about where Mike T was. What did he leave for? Why did he leave her there by herself if he was supposed to be there with her? So, of course, the gang is like, yeah, Mike T was supposed to be there. So, now Mike T sends a text message to his girl and he said, hey, because this happened on a Monday. So he told his girl, if you don't hear from me by Tuesday, let my mama know because they done killed me. And he gave a name. Darius Fields. Now it's Operation Get the Drugs Back. Mike T has this guy's information. He has Kendall Perkins' information. We need to know who he is, what's his phone number. So they're calling him, they're calling him several times. The crew is saying, hey bro, you need to give us our stuff back, but they never could talk to him. He didn't answer the phone. He left town and went to East Texas. Okay? So the next day, they all pull up at this spot. Now it's a spot in Dallas where I guess it's like a hangout spot where people pull up, they hang out. It's like a recording studio and stuff over there. So I guess to avoid talking on the phone, they all decide they were going to meet up at this spot. And they do have them on camera, all just kind of pulling up one after the other. They met up there and they talked outside for about an hour because they planning the next move. We got to figure out what we're going to do. Now we got to prove a point because we've been robbed. We can't let people slide with that because then people going to think we're a joke, obviously, right? So now we got to take drastic measures to go get our stuff back. So now later on that day, they know who KP is, Kendall Perkins. They know who he is. They know who his people are. They know where some of his people live. So now it's crunch time. So they find out who his baby mom's is, right? And it's a girl named Shavon Randle. Now she works at Spectrum Cable out in Irving. So they go out there, stake out her job that night. Okay, they trying to find her, watching, seeing if she gonna come out. Now she testified in court that she worked from like 7 to 4:30, so she was already gone that day. So they didn't find her. You know what I'm saying? And she also testified that while she was at work, I don't know if it was that day or the following day, but a young lady came up to her and asked her if she knew Kendall Perkins. Now, in the trial of Desmond Jones, when she testified, they wouldn't let her say what the girl said to her because it would be counted as hearsay, and hearsay is not admissible in court. So they wouldn't let her say what was said, but based on the information that whatever this girl told her, it made her panic. It made her, it made her panic. So anyway, when they couldn't find her, they went to her mom's house where she's known to live on and off or whatnot. They go stake that out like after midnight. They just watching the traffic, see who comes out, who comes in, things like that. So the next morning, they go up in there, they go in the house looking for her because, they're trying to kidnap her because since your guy took our drugs, we're going to take you. And she wasn't there. So they took her little cousin, Shavon Randle. Now Shavon Randle was in the house with another young lady who was a special needs child. She was Down syndrome. She could not say what she saw, what she experienced. They didn't take her. They took Shavon. Now, when they take Shavon, they're calling because all of their cell phones are pinging in the same place, all right? It shows them all traveling to her house, and it shows them being at her house, all the cell phones pinging, except Darius Fields is not there because he's a top guy. He's smart enough to separate himself from that. So the other guys are there. From what was testified, they put a pillowcase over her head and they bound her hands behind her. They took her out the house. All right. Now they're calling Ladoris, her big cousin. They're calling her phone, telling her, if you don't give us our stuff back, we're going to kill this little girl. We got your little cousin. We're going to kill her if we don't get our drugs back. Then they went even further to call her from Shavon's phone. They called her from Shavon's phone. They told her she better not get the police involved. They told her that if we don't get our stuff back, we're going to kill the little girl. Get us our stuff back. They hung up the phone. At this point, Shavon's phone is also pinging with theirs, traveling somewhere else. Now, then after that, Shavon's phone gets turned off. Her phone is no longer pinging. Okay? Now, Ladoris Randle is freaked out. Now, if you look at the trial, which I'll place a link below for you to check out the trial, her testimony, she was just I know it was like 2 years later when the trial happened, but she was contacted. She called her mom. She let her mom know, okay, I got to call somebody saying they got Shavon. Her mom works like 5 minutes away from her house. She zooms home, look all over for Shavon. Shavon is not there, okay? So her mom calls the police. She calls her husband, okay? They all meet up. The police come over there. LaDoris goes over there to her mom's house. They all meet up and talk. Now, LaDoris does talk to the police, but she does not tell them the phone calls that she got. She let them know she got phone calls, but she didn't tell them what those phone calls said. You know what I'm saying? After Kendall Perkins robbed them, he went home and he told her what he did. I don't know if she knew who he robbed, but she knew he hit a lick, basically. And so she knew that he had got a lot of green from somewhere. And so now that she's getting these calls about her little cousin, she's thinking, okay, this got to be related to this. But of course she can't snitch, so she didn't say anything. But you know, when a child gets taken, the longer that they're gone, the slimmer the chance that you're going to get them back alive. You know what I mean? So they took Shavon over to a trap house over off Keast somewhere. They took her to a trap house, an abandoned house with nothing in it. And who knows how long she was there. I don't know, but they definitely took her to a trap house. Mike T is also with them. He has to, you know, he really, the pressure's really on Mike T, because bro, this is your fault. You gotta get us our stuff back. You know what I mean? They ended up finding Shavon like 4 days later. She was inside of that trap house. She had been shot 4 times in her cheek, in her head, in her breast, and in her stomach. They shot a 13-year-old little girl who had nothing to do with any of that. That is so disturbing to me. Like, she had nothing to do with that. It was days after her 13th birthday. She had just turned 13. This was just tragic. And also in the house they found Michael Titus. He had been killed as well. Now, Mike Titus's mother did an interview, and I try hard to look for it. I watched it a long time ago when this case first happened, but I cannot find it anywhere. But I'm just gonna kind of try to go from my memory with this one. But I remember her saying that her son, Mike Titus, was very close with these guys. Devontae Owens, Laquan Wilkerson. She said they slept at her house. She's fed them. She keeps their kids. Like, they're like family, you know. And I think there was a particular day that, you know, well, she said that her and Mike Titus had this thing where he would always call her at night before he went to bed, or every night he called just to let her know he's okay, you know. And, you know, she was crying. She was very emotional, saying that, you know, he was a victim as well. You know, he got killed by these guys. And she said that when she went, she said Devontae Owens actually called her to come and get his kids. And she went over there and she asked them where Mike T was. And she said they told her at first that Mike T was asleep. And then all of a sudden, Mike T just came walking out the house casually. And so she said she looked at him. He was kind of like standing back. He wouldn't really come up to her car. And she said, come here, you know. And then she said, are you okay? Do you want to go with me? You know, and he told her pretty much, nah, Ma, I got to stay here. I got to stay with them, is what he said, you know. And ultimately, they ended up killing Mike T, you know. Now, the thing that got me about this, too, was they played the blame the dead guy game. So, like, they're saying that Mike Titus is the one who killed Shavon. Now, of course, Mike Titus can't speak, so we don't know if that's true or if it, you know, or not. Desmond Jones is the only one who has went to trial right now, okay? And he is the one who actually ultimately led them to the bodies, okay? But they had questioned Desmond Jones so many times, and his story kept changing. He just wasn't credible because he just kept lying, of course, trying to keep himself out. He kept trying to distance himself from what was going on. And so ultimately he took the investigators over to that house where they were, and that's where they found her. And he explained, his defense was that he was just a lookout, but he did end up taking them there to find them and discover them. And I think Desmond Jones thought that since he did that, he was gonna get help. He thought that they were gonna take it easier on him because he told. And it's like everybody that's involved wasn't talking, so we really don't know. Now, Desmond Jones described Laquan Wilkerson, and they called him Chuck. He was the one. He was even smiling in his mugshot. Check it out. They saying he's the crazy one. He's the one that killed her. That's what Desmond Jones said. He said now he said he was just a lookout, so he wasn't in the house. But as the trial went on, they got a specialist to come in, and they said that they did make Mike T get on the floor. He said they made Mike T get on the floor and scrub up her blood. And when he went to clean it up with bleach, they executed him. That's when they shot him in the head, in the back of the head. And Desmond Jones claims that he heard it, but he didn't see it. He was strictly a lookout that was on the outside of the house. And so, the prosecutors, they let it be known that no, he was inside of the house. They talked about the car that he used because it was his girlfriend's car that he was in. He was actually using her car. He was the car who went to Shavon Randle's house and took her. He drove. You were driving. And the prosecution proved that this man was not just a lookout, because he chose every time out of all of those days, he chose to go to the meeting spot and meet up. He chose to go and drive because he tried to make it seem as if he was forced, but that just didn't quite work because you got away. You were away from it at a point in time. So you knew about a crime that happened and you didn't report it. And they gave him 99 years. Oh my God. They gave him 99 years, y'all. Check this out. You could tell that this guy really thought he was going to get a break because he told, but he was not a credible witness because he lied so many times. And look at this outburst he had in court.
Shit don't even matter no more, bro. Shit. Fuck them, I swear to God. Mama, don't be ready to tell me, I swear to God, I don't know. Y'all play this shit.
What's even crazier is that nobody has been charged for murdering her. Now, Devontae Owens right now, he has not been in trial, but he is still in jail, locked up on counts of kidnapping her. Laquan Wilkerson, the one who they said is the guy who might have killed her, he just took a plea and got 40 years. Okay, he took a plea and pled guilty to being involved in organized criminal activity. Darius Fields was locked up on gun charges. LaPortia Polly she got like 4 years and some other stuff just for because they had found she was trying to get rid of Green when the police came. They was trying to flush it down the toilet. They found guns and all that stuff on her, so she got charged for that. But nobody's getting charged for murdering this little girl, and it just doesn't feel like justice, man, because she did not have anything to do with that and they killed her. But unfortunately, with our justice system, it's not about what really happened, it's about what you can prove. And we don't know who pulled that trigger and shot her that night. But this is a terrible story, y'all. So what do you think? Do you think Mike T set these guys up to be robbed? I just don't know how to feel. I don't know if Mike T set them up to be robbed or not. I don't know. LaDoris Randle, she was scared to tell the police, so she never really told the police what they told her. Would you have done that? I'm sorry, I don't know if I said niece, I might have said niece, but her little cousin, like if your little cousin got kidnapped, like would you, if the people told you don't get the police involved, would you get the police involved, or would you be quiet about it? Because little Doris Randle was scared. She didn't want to get the police involved. She figured if they came up with some money or something, then they could just get her back. But again, when a child is taken, the longer that the child is gone, the slimmer the chance that the child will be alive. You know what I'm saying? And we'll see what else happens. We got a couple of more people that are awaiting trial, and we'll see what happens. But as of right now, this is where it is. I want to know what you guys think about this story. Please let me know in the comments. Again, thank you for being here. You feel me? Because you could be anywhere in the world, but you right here chopping it up with me, and I'm digging that. Like this video. Subscribe. I need my first 1K subscribers. Turn on the notification bell so when I drop new content, you will be the first to get it. Peace out.
Yeah, I love that OG in my Swisher. I'ma roll it up, so bring a lighter with you. Got the top roll back when I'm riding with you. Bubble gum, yum, yum, pineapple, berry rum. I love that bubblicious in my Swisher.